in Kongsamba. However, the police commissioner, Jeng Lokag, has called on the collaboration of all inhabitants of the town to get rid of organized crime and drug abuse. We are still in the Mungo division, but this time around in Mbanga, where newly promoted staff of the penitentiary administration in the Mungo division have recently been decorated with epaulets at a ceremony in Mbanga. During the occasion, the regional delegate for penitentiary administration called on all the people or all the others to respect the laid down norms and rules of the profession, insisting that it is the only way to get a promotion. Let's get more of this with Manget Venasius.
14 meritorious staff of the Penitentiary Corps were last May 7th, 2021 in Manga, Mungo division of the Littoral region, promoted to superior ranks in their career. In a ceremony presided at by the regional delegate of penitentiary administration, Wanto Francis, one prison superintendent, 2 senior wardens, 1 major warder and 10 principal warders received their epaulets in a highly attended ceremony where family and friends turned out to witness the event. An event which the regional delegate highlighted that is within reach of every staff of the Penitentiary Corps on the condition that laid down rules are respected.
The advantage in this service is that when you work hard, the promotion comes. When you deserve it, it comes. When you are disciplined, it comes. When you respect human rights, it comes. And nobody is delayed who is supposed to have been advanced.
For these happy recipients, the delegate appreciated their effort, yet pointing to the sky as their limit.
I want to encourage them to understand that the promotion they've had today is not the highest they should have in the Corps. And for them to get to the highest height, they need to work hard, very hard, in order to get promoted to the highest height.
He, however, did not fail to encourage those who could not make it for the promotion.
Those who have not been promoted should copy their examples and get promoted.
An achievement which these happy laureates could not hide their impressions.
If I should say I'm not overwhelmed seeing this day, then I'm a big liar. Because all to human beings, I wouldn't have seen what I'm seeing. But God Almighty has willing that this epaulet should be put in my grade. I want to thank God Almighty for making me see this day. And I also want to thank my family. My husband has been supportive throughout my 35 years of service.
With the presence of Nextel mobile telephone network, the occasion was graced by march past from different detachments of the Corps, and recipients saw family members and loved ones celebrating their achievements.
On to other news stories. Muslim faithfuls will this Thursday be celebrating the Feast of Ramadan, which crowns up a 30-day period of fasting and prayers. Ate Bonaventure spoke to Sheikh Abdullah Atangana in Yaoundé in order to find out how Muslim faithfuls are expected to carry themselves prior to the celebration. Let's get his report.
Eid al-Fitr is a very important festival in the Islamic calendar and was started by Prophet Muhammad himself. It is also known as the Feast of Breaking the Fast and is celebrated by Muslims worldwide to mark the end of Ramadan. According to Sheikh Abdullah Tangana, it is a day to glorify Allah for accompanying Muslims in accomplishing one of the 5 pillars of Islam. The faithful are also thanking Allah for the Quran, which was first revealed towards the end of the Ramadan, and for the strength he has given them to exercise self-control throughout the month of fasting. He says there are special prayers that usually take place. Men are to pray with a loud voice, while women do so with a lowered voice. Celebration according to Islamic principles is mandatory for every Muslim, except for those with health or mental problems.
Nous pensons aux femmes en période de menstrue qui en réalité...
Women in their menstrual cycle generally do not take part in canonic prayers. This does not mean they are to abandon everything. They connect to their God through invocation, praises, and adoration.
Mais quant à exalter la louange d'Allah, invoquer le Seigneur.
The eve of Ramadan is usually characterized by devotional prayers to be said at sunset and the preparation of food that will be shared between faithful and neighbors on the celebration day.
It is a fact that wearing a helmet reduces by far the risk of death or even shock during or after an accident for bike riders. Yet, wearing helmets is far from being a habit amongst bike riders in Cameroon's economic capital. Vanessa Shuyong examines in the following story the reasons behind this reluctance vis-à-vis the wearing of a bike helmet. Let's get her report.
A helmet is a form of protective gear worn to protect the head from injuries. Following the decree of January 5, 2009, the Prime Minister, Philemon Yang, announced that no commercial bike rider should drive without the helmet. 9 years after, the practical side of the decree is yet to be visible. Visiting some streets in Douala and other regions of the country, a good number of commercial bike riders do not adhere to the decree. Speaking to some to find out why they do not ride with their helmets on, they gave varied reasons.
Contrairement aux autres, certains ne connaissent pas l'utilité du casque.
Contrary to others, some people do not know the importance of the helmet. The helmet is for protection. For example, if you fall with your head, you can die or have problems that could last for long. I, in particular, do not wear it because of heat.
Though they are aware of the dangers of no helmet in case of accidents, they are also conscious of the necessity and value of these helmets.
Depuis que moi j'ai commencé à mettre le casque, je me sens vraiment très à l'aise.
Since I started wearing the helmet, I feel safer because it will help reduce the effect of the damage in case of an accident. I advise all my brothers who are bike riders to put on their helmets.
Although bike riders have been told that the primary goal of a motorcycle helmet is for safety, to protect the rider's head during impact, thus reducing head injury and saving the rider's life, the bike riders are yet to see why they should be obliged to put on a helmet when, according to them, they are just riding around a small, limited area.
As it is often said, it is better safe than sorry. That rounded it up for news within Cameroon, and now we shall conclude this edition of the news with stories out of the country. In Sudan's capital, Khartoum, 2 people have been killed and at least 15 others wounded during protests carried out in the country by people demanding justice for those killed in a camp in 2019. While in Burkina Faso, at least 20 jihadis have also been killed and 4 terrorist bases destroyed during an operation by the military. Details of this with Rogeatu Buba.
A medical group in Sudan says security forces have dispersed a protest in the capital, Khartoum, causing 2 deaths and more than 15 injuries. The demonstrators were demanding justice for those killed in a deadly break-up of a protesters' camp in Khartoum in 2019. Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok has called for an urgent meeting following the violence. Sudan is on a fragile path to democracy since a popular uprising that led to the military's ousting longtime autocrat Umar el-Bashir in April 2019. In a separate statement, Sudan's Prime Minister Abdallah described the use of gunfire against peaceful protesters as a crime demanding immediate justice. Activist doctors have said nearly 130 people were killed when a camp was raided on June 3, 2019. While officials have acknowledged 87 deaths, a commission tasked with investigating what happened has not yet presented its result. Sudan is now ruled by a partnership between the military and civilian political parties. At least 20 jihadists have been killed and 4 terrorist bases destroyed in Burkina Faso during the first week of an ongoing military operation. The Army and Air Force have been deployed in the North and Sahel regions since May 5th. According to a source, communication equipment, weapons, ammunition and vehicles have been recovered by the Army. The defense ministers of Burkina Faso and neighboring Ivory Coast declared they will set up their fight against the jihadis. A broad strip of Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso are no longer under the control of any central government. There are fears of the violence spreading further south to other countries, including Ivory Coast.
That was it for today's edition of the news here on DBS Television with me, Cynthia Nguemo. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow, same time, and still same thing on Friday. Good night.
We begin this midweek edition Wednesday, May 12, 2021 with the Guardian Post newspaper telling us that Limbe and Kumba